thank you so much for spending a Saturday with me. I don't know about you guys, but a Saturday is sometimes a hard day to give up, right? So I want to give you a 1-second party, and you're going to learn about these. These are really important. Ready? Everybody put your hands out. Okay? And everybody go, woo! All right, now you've done your first 1-second party, okay? So that is how today is going to go, all right? You all are educators. I have mad respect for you. I actually have a teaching degree. I did my student teaching and went ahead and got a psychology education degree, knowing full well I did not want to be a teacher. So I admire you all. I did know that I wanted to work with children, and I needed to have a very strong understanding of education in order to be successful in doing that. Because I'm well aware that children spend most of their time at home and school. And so without understanding that education piece, it didn't make a lot of sense to me to work with kids, right? So I spent a bulk of my professional life in school-based mental health. And so I've partnered with teachers and I've partnered with professionals in the school setting to really bridge the gap between home and education. And so I am very, very, very excited to be here. I think that what these ladies are doing is pretty proactive, right? There's not a lot of stuff happening like this around America in general. So I think it's pretty remarkable that you guys have people in your state who are forward thinking. And I want you to know that you're all part of a very small group of people. So I'm going to challenge your beliefs today. This is going to be some really tough stuff and some really good stuff. And as we go through the day, you might find yourself thinking about your own life. That's very common. And I want you to take care of yourself in that. Okay? We're talking about a really heavy topic. Trauma-informed education. Trauma is a heavy topic. Every single person in here has been touched by trauma in some way, and I don't know that. So I get up here and I talk, and I may say something that really makes you think about your own life and your own stuff, and I just ask that you really take care of yourself today. Okay? I'm all about self-care. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I want you to take care of yourself. And also, if I've said something that really triggers something in you and you want to have a follow-up conversation with me, please do that. Let's touch base about that, okay? So I think it's important to just keep in mind that. I'm all about the breaks, but I like them to be fast and quick because we got lots to get through and I have a lot to share with you today, okay? Is that fair? Right? Okay. All right, so a couple things about me. I started in education and teaching around 1999, so about 15 years ago, and I found that everything that I had learned in college was not working. Has anybody had that experience? I was like trying to apply what I had learned, and there I was like, it ain't happening. So I spent some time really just figuring out what my style was, and who I was, and who were the kids that I wanted to work with. And the kids that I wanted to work with were the tough kids. The toughest of all the tough. The ones no one wanted in their classroom, the ones who were biting and kicking and hitting, the ones who were telling you to F off in the middle of the day. Those are my people. Those are my people. And I knew I was going to have really good skills and a lot of information and a lot of tools in my toolbox to really make a difference in their lives, right? So I happened upon a conference. I was going for CEUs. I was just going for the day. I wasn't really there. I didn't really care, right? I just wanted the hours. Does that ever happen to anybody? Anyone? How many of you are here for that reason today? Be honest. Come on. If we can't be honest, we're not going to get very far today. All right. And lo and behold, the speaker was Dr. Bruce Perry. So how many of you have heard of Dr. Bruce Perry? This is very crucial. Okay. All right. So there he was up there, and as he was speaking, he was talking about children, he was talking about teenagers, he was talking about brain development, he was talking about how that happens before the age of 3 and all these impacts, and blah, 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 and I was like, oh, this is my guy. And so I always tell Bruce now, I'm like, I just want to wear shirts that say, I love Bruce Perry. I heart him because he is doing a lot of work for children who've been traumatized, abused, and neglected. So he has an organization called the Child Trauma Academy. childtrauma.org. And in the last 20 to 30 years, what he has done is he has mapped the brain, which we're going to talk a little bit about today. He has given us a great understanding of how the brain develops. And then he's taken it a little bit further and he said, let's look at when trauma occurs based on brain development, because that really impacts how the brain functions. And then let's look at the interventions that help heal those various parts of the brain. To me, that's huge, right? We have a ton of resources, but if we don't put them in place at the right time in development, it doesn't really matter. So I'm a therapist, I like to talk about feelings, but it doesn't really make sense to talk about feelings with an infant, right? So this is Isabel. She's going to be here all day. And these ladies are cracking up because I bring Isabel everywhere. So if I look at Isabel and I'm like, oh, how are you feeling? Are you mad? Are you angry? Is she going to respond? That's silly. It's silly, right? Now you might say that, but what happens is we expect kids to respond, and they're not developmentally there. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is really trauma, brain development. Come on in. Hi, Tammy. How are you? I gotta squeeze a little bit in here. Welcome. Glad you guys made it. Come in. Yes. We're going to talk about trauma, development, and how to put interventions in the right order so that it's more effective, right? Because it might make more sense for me to ask you as an adult who has your frontal lobe how you feel. But even if I ask you how you feel when you're in a crisis, you're going to give me a response that's not right, right? So that's how we're going to spend our time today. You will leave here today with some great strategies, but I'm here to tell you, you're not going to leave here solving all the problems. What we're talking about today is very complex. There's lots of layers to it. And what I hope you go away with is more tools in your toolbox, and then we'll go from there. So Bruce Perry does two things. He has a program called the Neurosequential Model of Therapeutics. Isn't that a scientific word? Like, that's all relates. We call it the NMT process. And basically, it's brain mapping. And then what happened a couple years ago is he started partnering with educators. And there's a whole process around the neurosequential model of education. So if you get online and you go to his website and you type in NME, it's all focused on educators. So that's hugely important, right? Because he has that understanding that education is where a lot of kids spend time. So these are the people who are certified all over the United States. You can see we're kind of laughing right here. Right? Right here. Now, Bruce Perry's a North Dakota native. I'm a Wyoming girl. Live in Montana. Now this is my star right here in Colorado. And that's why I choose to come to Montana. So, you are in a place where there's not a lot of this going on. That's why I'm sharing this with you. You are not alone, though. There are people all over the country. Just not a lot right here. So you're going to go back to your schools and you're going to be really excited and you're going to be pumped and you're like, this is what we're going to try, blah, blah, blah. And people are going to be like, when are you doing that? And you're going to be like, yes, this is what we need to do. So remember, you're pioneers, okay? Not a lot of people. I want you to remember that. Okay, these are also people across the world who are doing this. Quite a few people in Europe, quite a few people in Australia. So we are it's a movement. We're moving forward, all right? Okay, so we got a couple housekeeping items. You should all have at least one handout in front of you. If you don't, please raise your hand. Okay, Miss Erin, will you take care of those people for me, please? Thank you. It's because you chose to sit at the top. When you choose to sit at the top, you don't get handouts. So I'm just kidding. All right, so they'll come to you. Just leave your hands up. All right, and I am passing out trauma-informed brainstorming. Okay? This is going to be a fabulous handout that you can use and a tool that we're going to use today. There's a front and a back. Now, educators, do not fill it all out right now. You will get the wrong answers. Do not fill it out all right now. We're going to go through the process as we go. Okay? So, give you guys some and give you guys some. Okay. So what will be helpful for me today is knowing who you are and why you're here. Because my understanding is there's people from all over the state, and you're all here for a lot of different reasons. Some of you are required to be here for class, right? Some of you probably just want credit. And hopefully, some of you are here because it could be helpful for you. So, how many of you are early child educators? All right. How many of you are primary years, like first, second grade, kindergarten, first, second? Okay, how many are third, fourth, fifth? Okay, 6, 7, 8. And let's just do 1 second parties for them. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! Okay, because seriously, middle school, whole nother ball of wax. Okay, high school. Okay, how many of you are administrators? Thank you. Also, ready? 1 second, parties for them. 1, 2, 3. You have to manage all the employee issues, and we know that's a lot. So, okay, how many are special education teachers? Also, 1 second, party. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. Anybody else I missed? Speech therapist. Yes, thank you. Both of you? Speech? Me. Okay. Oh, there's one right behind you, too. You don't see her. Okay. Any OTs were going to be my next question. All right. School psychs? Physical therapist? Okay, good. Great. This is awesome. Okay, what else?
Group home therapist.
Group home therapist? Both of you? Okay. Anybody else I missed?
K-12.
School counselors and then K-12. Okay. Who else? I saw another hand. Anyone else? Did we get everybody? So as you can see, we're speaking to a lot of different people today, okay? So I don't know exactly what you need. I have some guesses, but I don't know. So if we're going along and you're like, this is not applying and this is not helpful, please stop me and say, Stacy, this isn't working for me. Because I need to know that, all right? I'm challenging you to take away at least 3 things today. Just 3. I'm going to give you a lot more than that, but I'm challenging you to take away at least 3 that you can apply in your life. If you don't leave with 3, that's on you, because I'm telling you to tell me you don't know. So 3, got it? All right, we're in a partnership now, okay? What are you hoping to get out of today? How many of you are very, very exhausted and tired? Thank you for being honest. That's why I started with the first question, that I know, okay? How many of you are looking for strategies? How many of you are struggling with parents and caregivers? Those are my exhausted and tired ones. How many of you are here for OPI credits? You should all raise your hand. How many of you are students in a class? Okay. All right. What other reasons are you here?
Collaboration with adults or professionals across the state.
Okay. Collaboration with professionals across the state. Awesome. What else?
The Office of Public Instruction received a grant that addresses the mental health needs of children and youth. Kalispell Schools, Browning, and Butte are the LEAs that are involved in that grant. And it's a multifaceted grant that addresses youth mental health for state, along with a multi-tier system of support for students.
Excellent.
So I'm here representing that, and we have 2 others here.
Excellent. So how many of you see mental health needs play out in education? So there I was on the phone with a caseworker, right? Getting ready to work with a kid who's in foster care. And the caseworker says, Stacy, I think I have a kid for you. And I say, awesome, let's talk about it. Is there any trauma history? And they said, well, no significant trauma. Okay. I said, well, how are they doing in school? Well, the teacher's kicking them out of school every day. Okay. So what are the mental health diagnoses? List is long, right? All the ABCs of diagnoses. So whether we want it or not, mental health is playing out all over the place. And education is one of the best places for it to play out because it's a safe place, right? When you create safe environments, you get more behavior. You get more information. You get more mental health concerns. That's a big piece. So mental health's huge. I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you. Okay. What else are you here?
I'm a student, but I'm also going for my special education. And I also have children in my home with mental illness.
Okay.
So I'm developmental delays.
Excellent to know that.
2 children and my fiance's.
Okay. So a lot of what we talk about today will be applicable both in your personal life and your professional life, right? I have 2 little people at my house too. 6-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter. And a husband, so also little people. So these are remarkable in my own life, right? And I have many moments at the universe of Stacy, stop being a therapist, start being a mom. Or, Stacy, you gotta use your therapist hat with your own kid. Okay, so our worlds cross. Definitely. Okay, what else? Why else are you here?
More effective consultations, especially for, the way behavior plans play out for these kids, like helping educators understand the difference between can't do and won't do problems.
Gotcha. I love that. Can't do and won't do. Two very different issues, right? And education is so huge with behavior plan, right? Rewards and consequences. We're going to spend some time on that today. Because would it be appropriate for me to give her milk every time she doesn't cry? Right? Or give her hugs when she's acting right? Sounds silly, doesn't it? So it's important that we recognize a developmental task and why rewards and consequences don't always work. Make sense? Because some people are coming to you with an infant brain in a teenage body. Sit with that for a minute. That's big. And they've missed a lot of developmental stuff. Okay, excellent.
I work in several school districts, and some of them are emotionally disturbed children are in special ed versus separate. And so, as an OT, sometimes they fall into my world. And so, I want to understand what's going on nationally, as well as I am an OT in the Army Reserve, so I work with a lot of trauma with veterans, and it all applies.
Awesome.
So, to me, it'll be very interesting to see where we're at with that. Not just in Montana, but obviously in the nation.
Right. So we're going to give her a 1 second party because she said Army. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! Okay, so I'm in the Army National Guard. So we have that connection.
I'm also a Rocky Mountain alum.
See? Okay, we're going to have to hook up and go have some. So, it's huge. It's prevalent how far this goes. So in the Army setting, we see adults who have lots of trauma. And it's playing out all over the place. So one of the things that I love about educators is you have the ability to identify what's happening with a kiddo and hopefully make some change and impact them before they become adults. And if we can do that right now in a school setting, we are giving those adults a chance in life. That's a big deal. Okay? What other reasons are you here? Speak up or forever hold your peace.
Well, I'm just here for, I work early childhood now, and I'm in school with special ed and elementary, and I just think it's really important to learn as much as I can. In early childhood, you see it starting, and the earlier you can help, the better.
Absolutely. So one of the things that we currently do is we spend 90% of our federal dollars on interventions after the age of 5. Now, we're going to talk about brain development. The brain is fully organized by age 3. That doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? So let's do all our intervention after 5 and no prevention. Okay. You guys get that. So I'm not telling you anything you don't get yet, but we're going to kind of put it all together. Okay? Excellent. Glad you're here. Any other reasons that you are here today?
I have an additional reason. I also have my early childhood certification. I think it's really important to do the prevention as well.
Sure.
To learn about it and how to help out earlier.
Prevention.
The prevention.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Erin and I had a nice conversation yesterday about how you can't measure prevention, right? Prevention's hard to really wrap your brain around the data and research and all that good stuff, and so that's one of the reasons we don't get a lot of funding for that. But it's probably, it is. It's more crucial and more important because it's easier to fix and heal people who haven't been through a lot of really hard stuff, right? And give them good tools, okay? Any other reasons you're here today?
I'm a foster mom of a girl that I had since she was 4 months old, and she was traumatized in the womb and the 4 months of her life. And so getting a better understanding, she's 5 now, of understanding her and some of her behaviors.
Excellent. So my life lands me in a lot of homes of foster adoptive kinship families, and one of the things I always hear is, we got her at day 1. How could she experience trauma? And you're living it, right? So, you got her at 4 months, but there's a lot that happens in that time. So your brainstem, which we're going to talk about, brainstem is responsible for your fight, flight, or freeze response, fully developed by 9 months old. Fully developed by 9 months old. So that means you are learning your fight, flight, or freeze response in utero. That's pretty powerful. So, absolutely trauma occurs from the moment of conception. It can be traumatic. Okay? All right, other reasons that you're here. Awesome. All right, so before we go any further, I want you to take out your fabulous worksheet that you got. Everyone should have. If you don't have, you need to let me know now. We're going to use it throughout the day. And I want you to fill out, I want you to really think about a kid that inspired you to come here today. And if you don't have any kids who've inspired you, I want you to chat with someone next to you. I want you guys to come up with that. Most people will say, Stacy, I can think of several. I want you to pick one. One kid, your toughest kid. I want you to fill out their name, their age, their grade. What are their presenting concerns or their behavior? No one ever calls me when things are good. Nobody ever goes to see a therapist when life is fabulous. They call and they say, hey, I got a problem. Okay? And most of the time, teachers come to me when it's behavior issues. Okay? And these don't always have to be kids acting out. They can be the quiet kid in the corner too. Because there's a lot going on with them as well. All right? Then I want you to really think through their barriers to learning. Do they have mental health concerns? What's their family like? Do they have learning disabilities? What do you know about their situation? And what's your current status of the connection with the caregiver? I want you to get that far. No further. Don't go any further. All right, go. All right, for how many of you was this a difficult task? Okay. How many of you this came pretty easily? All right, how many of you have answered these questions before about this particular kid? All right, excellent. Okay, so we're going to think about that kid throughout the day, all right? And what I'm asking you to do is shift your thinking and be open, okay? Because what ends up happening with these kids in general is we put a lot of resources and time into them, but we don't always do it with a lot of thoughtful intention. It's usually crisis-driven. How many of you have had that experience? Oh my God, I'm having a crisis! We gotta deal with this now! Well, today you're not in crisis with this kid. Not one of you is in crisis with a kid right now in this moment. You are safe, you are here, you are present, and I want you to think about it with your whole entire brain, not just your fight, flight, or freeze response. You're gonna get a lot further today. Make sense? Okay, so we're gonna watch a video today. How many of you have seen the video Removed? Okay, now I found this video because I land in the life of a lot of kids who've been removed from their homes. And this video was professionally done by foster parents who've had kids in their home. And they wanted to give a reality of what it looks like for what kids have gone through. There's lots of different pieces to it. It was released last summer, and they're releasing part 2 this summer. So we're going to watch it. It's emotional. I'm going to give you a heads up. It's okay to feel what you're feeling. You're safe. You're not in crisis. We're going to talk about it. But this is from the voice of the kid. And I really want you to tune in to what the kid is saying and what the kid is feeling. Okay? How many of you like children? Okay. Important question. Important question.
Sometimes someone hurts you so bad.
I don't think you want
it stops hurting at all. Until something makes you feel again. And then it all comes back. Every word. Every hurt. Every moment. How could you ever understand where I come from? Even if you ask, even if you listen, you do not really hear or see or feel. You don't remember my story. You haven't walked my path. You haven't seen what I've seen. My past defines me. This is who I am. I am unseen, unheard, unwanted. That is what I am, if even I am anything. It seemed like the same thing that held me up forced me down. And the world turned upside down, and order disappeared. Nothing was how it was supposed to be. And a heavy sadness filled my soul. Deeper and deeper I fell within myself. And nothing could draw me out. Trapped in the misery of my life. Lost in the sorrow of my soul. Unable to see the light. Unable to see the dawn. To feel. To hope. dream. And I found the darkest days of my life kept coming. The blackest nights for my soul never stopped. It seemed like it was always nighttime and nightmares, and never morning. And maybe you wonder why, but mostly you try not to think about it, and try to get by, and try to survive. And all the other stuff seems so much like nothing, compared to just wanting the most important things back again. Like wishing you could see your mama's smile again, and hear her sing that one favorite song that always calmed you down when things were all messed up. Or if you couldn't have her back, at least get to take care of your baby brother. 'Cause you know he needs you, and he's gonna be so scared all alone. And who's gonna hold his hand and whisper it'll be all right to him? And who will whisper it to me? I know I am helpless, dependent, desperate. But what happens when those you need the most threaten your very existence? I've heard plenty of promises, and they all sound the same. But push hard enough, and sooner or later, they all prove to be empty. The sun comes up every morning, but do you know where? Each place, it's somewhere different. It's hard to find east when you keep moving around. But at least it comes. It always comes. I've come to depend on that. And slowly seasons changed around me. And it seemed this time that maybe the world would not be pulled out from under me again. Feet safe, roots starting to grow, little buds of hope forming, slowly attempting to trust this new life.
Hi, come on over. Let me show you what I got for you. Got you a gift.
I wish someone would tell me it's gonna be okay.
I swear to God, you touch me again, I will kill you.
Touch me! Who cares about that one day? No! Maybe. I feel normal. I hate you! That I won't always be alone. That I'll have a mommy who will hug me and be strong for me. Because maybe I can't do it all by myself.
Hi, yes. I'm calling to let you guys know that I have room for another replacement. Thank you so much. Yes. They'll do it all. Okay, I think she'll be glad.
This, my past, my history, my story, is not my fault. It's not because of me. And doesn't have to be what defines my future. I am lovable. I am worthy of care. And that glimmer of light, it makes all the difference. The glimmers of light give me hope that someday my summer will come.
We're talking about a heavy topic, right? How many of you have a kid that you're thinking about who could be that kid? And there's many of us in this room who could be that kid, right? I show this because it brings the human side to it. We're not just talking about another kid. We are talking about children who've been through a lot of really tough stuff. And there are lots and lots of layers to that experience. These are all actors, okay? Pretty remarkable actors, right? Part 2 is going to go into more around the legal system and the kids having to testify. Okay? We're going to take about a 5 or 10 minute break. Let's do about 5 minutes. Take a deep breath, go get a drink of water, have a moment, take care of yourself. We're going to come back and we're going to move forward, okay? Yeah.